All right. Hey guys, I am Phyllis Anderson and I'm here with my son, Aiden Anderson. He's one of our newer 18-year-old ambassadors to Plexus. And so I wanted to get us all together here today so that we could talk to this younger crowd, this young adult, and I'm calling it like the 18 to 25 range, specifically because I just see so much value in what Plexus has to offer for this age group particularly. And not just in like the health products, but also in the opportunity to share these products and be wildly successful. I know a lot of them are focused on a career and have that path already set out, or maybe some ideas, but maybe there's some kids that just don't know what to do right now either. But yet they're like, I need some income. And it's especially challenging right now with what we have going on. It's kind of impossible to find an extra job or any kind of a job right now. So I just feel like Plexus is the place. And so I just felt very like burdened, like I have a burden on my heart to get this out there and answer questions that this age group might have. And then also kind of just present the opportunity. So thank you for everyone that's here on the call. We've got Brooke Hemmingway with us. So I kind of want to just run through a couple of things that I'm thinking of. And then I want Brooke to just either hit some of those points or definitely share with us what she did with Kanani this last month of April, which was add 50 people to Kanani's team. So that is senior gold, fast start senior gold. Like that's crazy, but it's possible. And so Brooke can help us figure out the math on that one, but I think it was over $3,000 that young lady made. So that's pretty crazy. But okay, so here's some things I'm thinking of is why would a young adult 18 to 25 want to share Plexus? Who is your market? What are some of the fears or objections that come to mind that prevent you from doing this? Or maybe fears or objections that come to mind that you think, oh, it's not for me. What's your time commitment? I have a feeling those are questions you guys might have. And then what are our platforms for sharing Plexus? So Brooke, are you in a place where you can, if you want to address any of that, or if you want to just share your Kanani story, I would love any of it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's different about this economy that we're in and about just the opportunity is that I feel like a lot of younger people definitely, I have a brother that's a lot younger than me, and I feel like you guys have more of a desire to be independent and not necessarily work for the system or work for something for 40 years. Like you guys want to be able to work on your schedule, on your time, and live a life that you want to live. It's just a totally different mindset. And I can't think of another industry that's better than network marketing for that, because it gives you total freedom to work from wherever. And most of you guys are super tech savvy, social media savvy, on your phones, on your computers, and that's just your way of life. So it's not like that part is super easy for you to pick up on. But the fact that you can literally be a high school graduate and make professional level income working from wherever you want, whenever you want, is the thing that makes this super unique. And there are a lot of companies out there, trust me, there's a ton of companies out there, but Plexus is the kind of company that you can build like a legacy business, a business you're going to be in for good, not something you're just going to do for a year or two because that was fun and you wanted to win some prizes. Like this is the kind of business where you can build and you can stay and you can have incredible residual income for years and years and years to come, like 6-figure, 7-figure income if you stay in this and you keep developing and growing. And so that part is for real. It's no joke. It actually happens, and it is actually a reality for not just people my age, but several people in their 20s. I think about Abby Kappa going diamond at like 24, 25 years old. Allison Bro was another one that went diamond at like 25 years old. We have a couple of people in their 20s that have gone diamond, and several people in their 20s that are emeralds, which is that first level of 6-figure income. And so I just can't think of a more ideal thing for somebody to do that's like just out of high school or in college or looking for something that really fits their lifestyle and their schedule. And so I'm going to share just a little bit about Kanani. And what we did and how we really just tapped into this, and she grew in 26 days to a team of 50 people. And it was a lot of work. Like, we worked really hard, but she did make just over $3,000 in 1 month working really hard. And she definitely has a hustler mentality. So she's not lazy. She's not sitting around waiting for somebody else to do it for her. She is super excited about this opportunity. And as soon as she went silver, she was super excited. And then super silver, she was super excited. And then she's like, oh my gosh, well, what's next? Well, what's next? Well, what's next? And so I just kept mapping out like one thing at a time in front of her. Okay, well, this is what would be next. And then we would go after that next thing. And so I would say, like, this is not what I want people to understand in this demographic is it doesn't just happen. You have to work for it, but I can't think of anything else she could have done for 26 days and made $3,000 on her time from her phone. And so it is worth the investment to put in that time. And that's just for starters. You know, now she's going to go for Ruby this month, adding another 50 people, making, you know, at least another $3,000. Like, why not? Why not really put your pedal to the metal? And so really some of the things that she did is she, every single day we were in communication. We were texting back and forth every single day. She would say, oh my gosh, I just thought of another one. I just thought of another one. And she'd be reaching out to her friends in DMs on Instagram and reaching out to her friends on Facebook and texting them and calling them up. It was like letting go of the fear. I would say if there's any Achilles heel that might stop people in this age generation is the fear of what other people think of you. And that is a gift that she has, that she doesn't have a lot of fear of what other people think of her. She's kind of like, well, if I think it's good and I want to do it, who cares what other people think? And I would say the same thing. Like, it's really, really, really important for you to understand at your age, especially, that your happiness is not tied to what other people think of you. And somehow she just has that characteristic because she just has that old wisdom inside of her, but yet she's super young and fun and like beach loving, like beach babe. She's like Barbie at, 23 years old, and just like has that fun personality, but is also like, if somebody tells her no, or somebody's like, I already tried that before and I don't do those things, she's just like, okay, whatever. And she just moves on to the next person. And what she would do is if she got somebody, she'd be like, hey, can you do a Zoom tonight? Hey, can you do a Zoom tomorrow? There was no like, well, maybe we'll do one next week. Or, let's schedule it out for next Friday. I was like, let's do it in 4 hours, And so she would grab a couple of people and we'd end up having a Zoom with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. And then she had some cousins on a different island that also wanted to get the silver bonus. And so we did a Zoom with them, like, I think her third day, her third day, when she had her 3 people, we did a Zoom and they invited people. And then her cousin went silver. And then her cousin under that cousin went silver. And so right away, we were helping the people that she was signing up go silver. It wasn't just that Kanani was an Instagram influencer. And there's nothing wrong with being an Instagram influencer, but the fact is most people are not. And so some people think like, oh, I've got to be an influencer. I've got to have 10,000 followers. I've got to be super popular to do this. Dude, nobody in my organization in my 4.5 years had ever done that. And a 23-year-old did it. That's not an influencer. That's not super, super active on social media. And she did it because she reached out every single day to her Instagram or Facebook or her aunties or her cousins. And then every few days we were doing a Zoom. It was like every 2 or 3 days we were doing a 30-minute Zoom. And I would ask them ahead of time, I'd say, well, tell me a little bit about who's going to be on this call. Because if she's going to have, a group of 22-year-olds, I'm not going to get on there and talk about postpartum depression that I struggled with. I think it's really important to let your sponsor, like Phyllis or Barbie or whoever, know the demographic of who's coming to the call. Because I'll shift my presentation according to the audience. It wouldn't make sense for Phyllis to talk about menopause with 20-something-year-olds, right? She can talk about that if she's got your mom and your mom's friends on a call. And so sometimes you have to separate out the groups. You have to be like, all right, I'm going to get my 20-somethings and younger on this call, and then I'm going to get the mom crowd on this other call, because you don't necessarily want to mix them. because you're going to treat them a little bit differently. Does that make sense? And so she has some of the mom crowd, and she has also the young crowd. She's got a couple of her girlfriends that are also between 20 and 22 that went fast start silver, that are now going for super silver, and then also want to go for gold this month. And so we're going to try to create a couple of super silver and golds under her that are in that younger age range. And then she's got the mom crowd. And that's the cool thing about being your age, is you get to have the younger crowd and you get to have their moms. I mean, if I'm honest, like you can have the young crowd, and there are some young people that are hustlers. Like, not all of them, a lot of them are afraid of what other people think, but if you can get one that's a hustler and will like totally go for it, it's amazing what can happen. And then the moms, you get somebody like a Phyllis or a Barbie or a Brooke. Well, we're just really driven, hardworking women, and they grow a whole nother demographic. So you are not only looking for 20-year-olds to join you. Yes, you're looking for 20-year-olds and your girlfriends to join you and stuff, but you're also looking for their moms, and to spread the opportunity, because then you have a diversified team, and then you have a really strong team. And so we were doing lots of Zooms, got her to super silver, got her to gold in 2 weeks. And then, I started having these other people. I have a girl named Janelle that's in her early 30s, and her team is younger though. Like, her cousin is in her 20s. Her younger sister is 19. She's a single mom. She had a baby when she was like 18. She went fast start silver last month. And her cousin Noelle, that's in her early 20s, is just a new teacher. She went fast start super silver. So I had all this going on with Janelle's team and with Kanani's team, and like I almost like it got hard to do as many Zooms. And so then what Kanani and I started doing is, she'd be kind of like chatting with somebody, and she'd be like, well, hey, can you just hop on a FaceTime to her friend? And her friend said, yeah, I could do that. And so they would just hop on and FaceTime, and she would add me to the FaceTime. And I would talk to them for like 15 minutes in a group FaceTime. And that face-to-face, like basically I was able to tell them what would help them, what would be the best product for them, what would make them feel awesome. And then I would tell them about the $520 bonus. And so I would do that all in like 15 minutes, totally get them convinced and on board, and say, okay, Kanani, I'm going to hop off. I know you guys want to keep talking, and, but do you think you can go ahead and help Leah order her products today? And she'd be like, yeah, Leah, I'll help you order your products. So I would hop off, and then she would finish up signing them up. So if you can't do a Zoom, or people don't want to do a Zoom, everybody knows about FaceTime unless they have a Samsung, which I'm really sorry if they do. But most people have iPhones, right? And so we were using all these different social techniques of like however we could do it. And I would say another key to her success is immediately every time she would put somebody in a three-way message with me. Like, there was no fear about putting somebody in a three-way message with me. There was no like, oh, I can't with this person because they're so-and-so, or, oh, they might feel weird about that. No, it was put them in a three-way message. She literally did everything I told her to do, if I'm honest. I said, do you trust me? She's like, yeah, I trust you. I mean, we've been family friends with them for over 10 years, and she's been watching me for 4.5 years. And so her team does whatever I tell them to do. I'm like, this is a message you should send. This is a reminder you should send. We should do this. And so if you want to grow a business, and I mean, this is true for anything in life, like, I know that a lot of times young people want to do it their own way. And I get that because I'm fiercely independent. But what I would say is, if you want success, you have to follow successful people, because success leaves clues. And so you can do it in your own way. Like Phyllis or Barbie or whoever is on here might give you an example of a message to send, and you're like, I would never say it that way to my girlfriends. That's fine. Change it. I would never say that way to my jock friends. Like, that's fine. Say it a different way, change it. But the general idea is they know what they're talking about, and they want to help you be successful, and they know what works. And especially in this virtual social media world that we live in, so much can be done online, and so much can be done via Zoom and FaceTime and all that stuff. Yeah, three-way messages are super important. And then with every single person, basically, because she is more business minded and she is definitely wanting to make this a career. Like she wants to be an emerald like yesterday, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, here we go, like she really wants it. So she's talking to everybody about the business. She's like, we'll be like on a Zoom and she's like, tell them how much money they can make. Tell them how, like, so we're not doing it in a lame way. We're obviously always talking about the amazing products and how they work and people love them, whether you're young or old or whatever. But the business is amazing, and we talk about the business with everybody. And because we've talked about the business with everybody, that's why she had 5 silvers and a gold and a super silver under her in her first month. Because of those 50 people, not all of them said yes to sharing, but enough of them that they helped add. She added 20 herself, and the other 30 were duplications from team members. So that's what you need to understand is if you're looking at, oh my gosh, 50 people, that's impossible. No, it's not if other people are helping you to do it. And her adding 20 people is a lot of people. That's like Phyllis style. Adding 20 people is a lot, but the reason she added 20 people is because every day, if she thought of somebody, she messaged them. If somebody popped up in her feed, she messaged them. Like it was like no fear, rip the Band-Aid off and just going after it. And look at what happened. Like, holy cow. So I would say that those are some of the secrets to how we did it. And she's just super stoked. Like she doesn't feel like this is a grandma thing to do. She doesn't feel like this is a not cool thing to do. She's like, why wouldn't anybody want to do this? And I want you to sort of take that attitude is, why wouldn't anybody want to do this? Why wouldn't my friends want to do this? Like this, and that's the attitude you have to take. Like you can't be ashamed. In Hawaii, we say no shame. Like no shame. You can't be ashamed of this. Like, because if you are embarrassed or ashamed, or you feel kind of like, oh, I don't know, like if you're just kind of halfway, people can sense that and they don't want to follow that. They're not going to join you. They're not going to do a business with you. If they don't feel like you're stoked about what you're doing, it's over. So get stoked about what you're doing and share that excitement with everybody and tell everybody not just about the products, but tell them about the business. I think most people between the age of 18 and 25 would love to make $3,000 or more in a month. Don't you think? I mean, I think most people would be super stoked, whether they're a guy or a girl. And there's a lot of guys like Austin Ryan, for example, right? He just went emerald. Like we have a lot of great products for guys. I think about people that are athletic and I'm like, Triplex Active or Slim and Active and Lean. Like if they just want the energy and the sustained energy, less inflammation after workouts and some protein, great. So maybe with a younger crowd, you're not pushing them to get big packs. You're pushing them to get a smaller pack, and that's totally fine. They can all start with a smaller pack, sign up with a 79 or 89, and sign up 3 friends with an 89, make $320, and have every single person duplicate that down. It's $79. They can afford that. And they can find 3 friends that can afford that, and everybody can make $320. I think another incredible example is that Jesus Soto that went senior Ruby. He ended with 1,000 points. So 1,000 points is about the equivalent of 225 ambassadors under him in a month. 225. He's a young soccer player. He actually does not live in Mexico. He lives in Texas, but he has some business building in Mexico. But he does not come from money. Nobody in his circle has money. And the way that they've been building is they've been duplicating silvers down, 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 and wide and wide and wide. So everybody signs up. They get a $79 or $89 pack. Sorry, I keep saying 79. They get an $89 pack. They find 3 friends to get an $89 pack. Everybody makes the $320 bonus. I would just be going crazy with that if I was in your age demographic. Is, it's, if you have somebody that's really business driven, have them get a bigger pack, yeah? Because they'll get 3 people with a bigger pack and they'll get $520. But if you're dealing with people that don't have quite as much vision and definitely don't have the money, fine. Start them on the less expensive pack. Help them get 3 people. Help them get $320. that will be social proof that you can actually make money at this. And that's what they need. And once your friends get 3 people, you help them get 3 more as quickly as possible. Because when they get 6, they get an additional $370 in bonuses and payouts for the welcome packs. Because there's that extra $250 bonus plus the $120 for welcome packs. So I just always look at things as like stair stepping for all these young people that I'm mentoring now. Is I'm like, hey, let's just get your 3. And then they get their 3. And then I haven't even really told them about 6 because I don't want to overwhelm their mind. So I tell them about 3 and I'm like, awesome, amazing. That's so incredible. You know, if you get another 3, you get another $370. Do you want to do that? Should we schedule another Zoom? And then we'll schedule it. Yeah, let's do one tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then they know they got to hustle it to get at least 3 to 5 people there. So it's just really this like speed. Speed is your friend. Speed is in your favor. If you have the time to pour into this, do it. Don't be embarrassed. The products we have change lives. They're good products. Whether you want to be more athletic and fit, you want to have better skin, you have gut problems, whatever it is, we have products that like address literally everything, like everything you could think of. And so reach out, be super excited. She kept her messages really simple. And she talked about how she joined a company that she was really excited about. She loved the products and she loved the business. Would they be open to hearing about it? That's basically what she said. And she didn't give the name right away. She didn't like give them any information about how it was gut health or anything. So you can tweak your approach and try a couple different message ideas because I think you have to find something that works for you. But I would say less is more on your first reach outs. And then giving them a little bit of information at a time. And then getting them on a Zoom or a FaceTime as soon as you can so that you're not even the one that's giving them tons of information. Put them in front of a third party to validate what you're saying. Does that help?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it all there, Brooke. And that was my last question was, how did Kanani, like, what was she saying? But that makes sense. Like if she just went out focused on those things, like, hey, I've got my young, cute boyfriend and he loves to work out. Like, let's get him started on a pack,
Yeah.
And that's what the focus, because I have a lot of guys. Shayna actually has 3 boys. Her husband, like she's got a lot of men in her household. And so we're really trying to focus more on the gentlemen. Mackenzie's got a lot of guys that are interested too. And so it's just a matter of getting them to pull the trigger. So I would love, like, do you have a second, Brooke, to stick around and wait and see if there's any questions? Because I know Mackenzie.
Yeah.
No, Mackenzie.
Well, and let me just.
Sure.
Let me just say, like, about the man crowd is like, yeah, I mean, the thing is that most network marketing companies actually, like most of them, it's men at the top. So I think a lot of men look at Plexus and they think it's not for men. And I would say actually men usually crush it at network marketing because they do tend to be like, women are more concerned about what other women think of them. And men are like, screw you. I mean, they just don't really care as much and they're not as sensitive. Oh, if somebody says no, right? They're just not so fragile. And men, they just kind of know how to hustle, whether they're younger or older or whatever. And we have great products for men. Like I said, Metaburn, Slim, Lean, Active. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, gut health problems, acne. Boys and girls struggle with acne. So I think the approach changes a little bit, obviously with how a guy's going to reach out and how a guy's going to build the business. And for men, whether you're younger or older, you have to talk about the business because men always care more about money. And that is more interesting and intriguing to them. Like, yeah, they like the product, but, tell me about the business or what kind of income I can make. And that's attractive to them. You can say, well, my friend just earned $3,000 last month and it was her first month in the business. So just give them actual examples of what's possible. But yeah, I can answer questions. Anybody have questions?
I think one of my questions was, which I think you kind of answered it pretty much, but how do you make health and wellness important to like people who don't see it as important, like me, like maybe my friends don't maybe necessarily struggle with a whole lot of health issues, and so making that, I guess, instilling that passion in them for something like this.
So you don't. I mean, if I'm honest, I'm just going to be honest with you. You can't make people feel excited about something that they don't care about yet. But what happens is, like Kanani, for example, she didn't even really know that much about the product. She watched a Facebook Live I did on a Friday night. She reached out to me about it because she was more interested in the business. She joined on Saturday, got her products, immediately started reaching out. And as we were doing Zoom after Zoom after Zoom after Zoom, and she was hearing me talk about the products and talk about the transformations, and then she was getting her cousins on them, and then she was hearing what it was doing for her cousins. And all. Now she's like so passionate about health. But I couldn't talk to her about health in the beginning because that's not what she cared about. You have to meet people where they're at. So your friends would probably be more interested in making $1,000, or your friends would probably be more interested in making $2,000. And if you reach out to those friends that don't really care about it and don't have a lot of health issues, well, but maybe they are a little bit overweight. A lot of college age girls gain the freshman 15, they gain some weight. A lot of them are tired and drinking energy drinks. Great. You get them on a slim metaburn active lean regime. That's what you get them on, like something that's just going to make them feel good and energetic. They don't care about gut health right now. But if you can get them to work a business and get people signed up and get them on Zooms, they're going to learn so much that they will end up becoming somebody that's passionate about it. Not everybody has to have a passion for health. And if that's all you're looking for in your age demographic, you will struggle. I hope that helps. I'm just being like super honest. It's like, you know, somebody that thinks they're great and super healthy, like they're not going to be super excited about that. But their friend that's doing Monat is going to reach out to them about the business and how much money they can make at Monat. And they're going to end up doing Monat. And you're going to be like, wait a second, you should have done Plexus with me. But all you were talking about with them is gut health. And they wanted to know how they could have a business from their phone. And they will become passionate about Plexus. They will. It's just that, you know, you got to give people what they want. And then after you give them what they want, you can give them what they need.
Yeah, Brooke, I felt like the kids the other day, I won't call them kids, my youngins, they were very much about the business. Like they had some really great business questions and, you know, what does your business model look like, and talk about the compensation plan. I mean, and it was the guys, right? Mackenzie, that's really all they wanted. And then they're like, okay, let's talk to Aiden and hear about his testimony. And so they listened to Aiden. They actually asked some really good questions there too. But yeah, I mean, it's just that Zoom, it's getting people together. It's that community. Yeah, pulling us together, especially right now. Like, it's kind of nice to see faces and talk to people. So yeah, it's just a win-win.
Yeah, I would be talking about the business with them, Mackenzie. And you, in the same sentence, you can be like, I decided to build a business with this company because I've seen the products at work, and I know they work. And I would just love to invite you to this Zoom tomorrow to learn about it. Maybe you're looking for, you know, a job. Maybe you're looking for income, or maybe you're looking for health. Whatever it is you're looking for, we're going to cover it tomorrow. Can you come? Yeah.
I think the personal development that's about ready to happen too for these kids is like, it's just mind blowing. And I think just going into your career too with what you learn in a network marketing business, like I've watched adults' lives be changed because of the confidence that's built. And so all of us came into this with a little fear, questions, objections, like we didn't know either, but we've learned from each other. And then what we do is we just take that confidence from the next person and we're like, ooh, okay, she's on fire, she's doing it, or he's doing it. Wow, look at that. That husband just went diamond with the wife. Like, I want that for my family, you know? And so I don't know, the more you're around it, the more you're inspired by it, that's for sure. And the more you just just stay involved. Yeah. It's like if you take time off, it's just like with anything. You don't go to the gym for a month, you're gonna be like, well, I'm not going tomorrow either, So you just want to keep involved. And I know like some of the kids are definitely wrapping up school, finals are happening, but shoot, I mean, just like with life, you'll see life is life and adulting is adulting. And so multitasking is life. And so for a lot of us, we have to schedule Plexus into our day. So we start our day and say, hey, reach out to 3 people. That's it, done, move on, and then throughout. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And I was going to say, just on that note, like a lot of people that are graduating from college, they're entering not a great economy. And so they don't necessarily have a lot of great job opportunities right now. And if you could help them through this system that I've talked about, that is just pedal to the metal, like all in, for them to be able to be finishing up college, not have great job prospects, but be able to start their own at-home business and make several $1,000s in their first month. That's what they're interested in, because they're finishing college, like probably not with any great job prospects right now.
That's really
so,
good.
Anyway.
Yeah, what I found with Plexus, I have to just share this. I feel like we're doing good. And any other questions, please, guys, just throw them out there. But for me, when I started working really hard at the business and growing to Emerald in like less than 11 months, my husband's like, man, you're working so hard. What's going on? And I said, well, just think about this as if I went back to school. Think of it that I went back to get, a degree. And how hard would I be working on papers and attending online courses or traveling to go to a classroom setting? I just kind of like, when I explained it that way, it was like, oh, okay. You got to work a little to make something like this happen.
And not get paid for all of that, right, Phyllis?
Right.
Just got to add that in there.
Yeah,
doing all that work and taking all that time, but not getting paid for it.
Yeah, for the hours that I was making as a nurse, I could have easily said, this is hardly worth it. But I saw the vision and I kept the vision out there. And I was like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to get. And this is what I knew, that's what it would take to get me there. And I didn't want to mess around. I didn't want to do it slow, because when the wheels are in motion and you're pushing this snowball up a mountain, do you think it's a good idea to stop hanging on to the snowball halfway up the mountain? No. But what happens when you get that snowball to the top of the hill? It's just like, it just takes off. So it's that momentum she's talking about. Any other questions? Shayna, I know your son, maybe Nick, is in there. Any questions or thoughts coming to mind? Same with you, Mackenzie. Anything else? Barbie, you have anything to add?
Nope, I think we're good. That was super informative. Thank you so much, Brooke, Phyllis, Barbie.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Bye.
I look forward to doing this some more. I absolutely am here to support this whole process. And, again, the sample messages, if you guys are getting hung up on stuff like that, oh my goodness, that's easy for me. I can help just throw something your way. And like Brooke said, just tweak it, make it sound like your voice, not mine. Or Barbie's or Shayna's. So. All right, you guys, woohoo. Yeah, April's going to be a great month, May's going to be a great month. It's the same incentives as April. So we have the $9.95 sign up. That gives them membership for a full year. They can simply get 7 sticks of Slim for that. But secretly, they're already an ambassador. So they can start sharing right away and start making that $25. So it'll pay for their first welcome pack. So if nobody has any money, have them borrow $10 from mom or dad, and get that membership paid for. And then we can start sending them, have them taste the Slim, start sending those sample messages, and let's just see what happens. Like, what if they just get $325 and say, cool, I made $325. Like, for a young person, that's a lot of money. Actually, for a lot of people, that's a lot of money these days. So, so it's a blessing either way. And then the 10% off with the Healthy Happy code. So $9.95 Healthy Happy code, and that'll get them started to like a massive career. So yeah, I was able to make over $100,000 in less than 10 months. And that's with going to school basically and having the job and bringing in money while I was going to school. So if I look at it that way, it's just like, and working as a nurse. So I was already doing something else too, and a family. So we can do it. All right, you guys, thanks. I'll stop the recording.